Hi everyone, I'm Ash.
And I'm Joe, and welcome back. We're going to continue where we left off last time. Okay, so the switch to heat pumps in homes, businesses, and industry. I would love to switch over to heat pump. My electricity bill shoots through the moon the moment I start turning on my boiler and start use burning gas in order to generate heat. It's just so stupid.
It's
But
crazy at this moment in time, mate, honestly.
yeah, unfortunately, it's not down to me because I rent, and yeah, and then there's a cost involved. So I think I don't remember who it was that said, but said that they estimate Tesla could build a heat pump for your house for about $1,000. I
I
think
didn't see
that's.
that.
I think it might have been Sandy Monroe said it. I think that's literally just the price of the heat pump. That doesn't include installation and all the retrofits you have to do to your house in order for that to work.
Yes. No, that would make
Because
sense.
there's other things that needs to be involved in order to do that. Because you can't just transition from we got this pretty much the same system: gas boilers, combi boilers that does your hot water and your heating. And for the heating, it heats up hot water and runs it through radiators.
Yes.
For air source heat pump, for instance, because I have a tiny garden, you're not going to dig up the ground there to do underground piping. There's not enough area there to do ground source, so it's got to be air source.
I have to go in your loft.
Well, no, you can't go in the loft. You can't. The actual heat pump needs to be outside.
Ah,
So on my particular house, it could be wall mounted outside my loft area because this where the roof tapers up, there's a section of brick wall here. Happens to be right above the front door, but you could put wall mounted unit there. And but then you got to replace your combi boiler with a different system that then can transfer the heat into the water. I'm not exactly sure what that is,
no.
but yeah, you can see here that it needs to generate. What was that? Let me quickly go back to the. Yeah, cars only need 4 terawatts of energy, and yet heating requires 5 terawatts of energy. That is crazy to think that just generating heat requires more energy than running all the vehicles in the world.
It is
It's
mad,
like,
but
wow.
it goes back to that other clip where the guy, what did he say now? It's the time it, or the energy it takes to boil a pack of pasta, you
Yeah,
can drive an hour in a Tesla or something like that.
you can drive a mile in a
Or,
Tesla
sorry, a mile in a Tesla
with the energy it
for the
takes
time it takes
to
to
boil
boil
the
a
water
fucking
to make a pot of pasta.
a pot of pasta. Yeah,
And
that's
then you can drive
absolutely
another
ridiculous.
mile to get the pasta to the cooked state.
Yes,
Yes.
which is
So,
probably where that difference comes in with the terawatt hours, I would imagine, something along those lines. And I'm using a silly example here,
yeah,
but
it's because of the efficiency of Tesla's vehicles. Um,
yes,
a lot less
my neighbor's
storage required.
my neighbor's just installed himself a Tesla charger for his car. I'm fairly jealous. I want
Oh,
one.
lucky bugger. Okay,
Mm.
so yeah, heat pumps very interesting, very low investment to do it. I believe I noted here that they're at about 10% penetration into the market. So there's a lot more to go. There's a lot more to
Oh,
go on the heat pumps. But as everybody keeps pointing out, is heat pumps transfer heat. It doesn't generate heat. So whereas we're currently burning fuel to generate heat, and then that heat escapes to outside because there's no way your home can be absolutely insulated. That's why you
no.
have to keep generating it. Otherwise, you'd only have to generate it once and it would stay there. You have to keep generating it. The heat escapes to outside, and we add to the external temperature. Whereas now you're going to take the external temperature and put it inside and make outside even colder. So this almost has the reverse effect of global warming. Not that it would
And then
cure global warming, but it's one of the things, and it just sounds so much better than leaking heat out that you generate
oh,
by burning stuff.
most definitely, yeah. It's not going to cure global warming, but like anything, if you, I don't know, quit smoking, for instance, the longer you don't smoke, the better condition your lungs will be. regardless
Yes,
of you actually aging as well and everything else that comes along with it. But yeah, the
yes,
quicker we can stop, it's going to take a while for it to happen, but the planet will heal itself.
exactly, exactly. All right, next slide. Ah, there we go. Heat pumps move heat; they don't create it. Awesome. Yeah. What more can you say? It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon
Basically,
that's going to be a game changer. Once that starts going into business properties and things like that, it is going to be absolutely insane. The difference of their
yeah,
bills and everything else that comes along with it. It's going to be madness.
yeah. Okay. This one is the one that bugs me. Um, the electrifying high temp heat delivery and hydrogen. So we all know that hydrogen needs to be generated on site
Mm-hmm.
because it's so hard to transport. That's why hydrogen cars are pointless. Was it Shell? I believe it was Shell who's now decommissioned 4 hydrogen power plants or fuel stations because it's costing them too much money to run it. One of which is here in the UK, that I think is down in Surrey or something, because it's just not worth it. They're not making money on it, and that is a fuel station where they generate the hydrogen on site to put into hydrogen vehicles, and it's just they've decided to decommission it after 4 years. So
Well,
hydrogen
I
for
don't think.
industry, yes, because you need it to make steel and whatnot to purify steel, and you need hydrogen for fertilizer and all that kind of stuff. But you
Mhm.
make it on site.
100%, yes.
Yes.
You don't need hydrogen for cars. That's not, I don't think that's ever going to happen. To be honest with you, it's not feasible.
No, no. Um, Also, I want to know is how do you get to these high temperatures using solar and wind? I want to know how do you store it because with wind, yeah, it runs day and night, but it's inconsistent. You need the storage for it. Are you going to do your storage for the electricity just purely in batteries, or are you going to store the heat somewhere when you have excess generation during the day for solar? And then transfer the heat over into your process? Or you're going to sit there with resistive heaters that can reach temperatures of 2000 degrees Celsius in order to heat up your metal or whatever it is that you're trying to heat up. I would like to know a bit more about this. This one bugs me, shall we say.
That would be interesting to know, to be honest, because I've not thought about that.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you could do it purely just with battery storage. This thing seems to be a bit low for me, in my opinion. Because
48 terawatt hours.
when you run electricity to get to that kind of temperatures, you're using a lot of electricity. I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna work, but yeah,
No, we'll have
I'm
to we'll have to see what they release on that one as they make progress. We'll see what happens with it. I think that's a bit of a tricky one. They don't even really know 100%. That's why we don't know. Like Elon said, we'll make the impossible just late.
yes.
Give it
And
time,
now
it'll happen.
now to a very good slide. Sorry, not this one. This is just still pulled on that one. Hydrogen for industry, not for cars, as you noted. This one. Go.
Oh, I don't really know, dude. It's
This one's above my pay grade. I think I need to put my head down and say, look, I don't understand enough about this to talk about it. So
I,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to get into it at this moment in time. There's so many unanswered questions as to how this is going to work and how it's going to be accomplished and everything else. I think it'd be very silly to start trying to throw facts out when we don't know the facts.
yes. So let's move on. Okay, so that's about the end of this section. There's a little bit more in the master plan section. So it looks like we're going to go into another video for that. And let's quickly just summarize on this. So
Yeah, got time.
30 terabytes of generation. I do believe we will go past this. This is
From
just what's
solar and
required to match our current use. But once we get to that point, we will start installing more and more and more, and we will find more uses for these things. And that would end
definitely.
up becoming that electricity would become a lot cheaper. Whereas right now it's absolutely mad how expensive it is. I can't wait for the day where my electric bill starts going down instead of just up, 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 up.
I think that's a few years to come, to be honest with
That's
you.
Yeah, that's a few years. I mean, Tesla's talking yet 20, 30 years from now, get this all done. So yeah, it's a long time.
No, definitely.
240 terawatt hours of storage. Yeah, that is to put into vehicles and for stationary batteries.
That is a lot of power.
You can see how cars use the biggest chunk of the batteries. Just the grid is a tiny speck compared to what's needed for cars. I believe this number is going to go down. Well, down at compared to our current need, I believe this the number is higher than what's needed,
Yeah.
but then it will go up again. Because I believe once we get to robo taxi level, most people won't need to own a car, so there'll be less cars required. Because each car will be able to do 5 to 10 times more miles than they currently do.
Yes, you'll effectively have a car and a subscription service, basically.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm planning on buying the 25,000 Tesla vehicle for my wife as a family car, sort of. The Cybertruck will be a family car for when we go long distance, but she can have that little one for every day. But
Yes, normal daily.
once we get robo taxi service where we live, I'm selling that car because I don't need it anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think you'll actually need to sell the car.
Chuck
That
it in
car
the fleet.
will, yes, that car will then form as part of the fleet. If you then go, okay, I'm going to need a car at 10 o'clock in the morning because I need to go X, Y, and Z. You'll go on your app, you go, right, I need a car for this time, boom,
Okay,
get
but
out in the morning and it's there.
I would probably either keep the car and chuck it in the fleet and then just recall it for my own personal use, or I would sell it to Tesla so they can use it, and then I just go on the app and get the car whenever I need it. But
No, I think that pretty much comes down to the same thing, to be honest with you.
if that car then eventually dies, I won't be replacing it with a new one. There will be
No,
no point. Not for the
no.
missus that drives an hour a day or an hour 2 or 3 times a week, shall we say? You know,
Not for any reason. Once it gets to that point where you don't need to own a car anymore, you literally just go on the app, the car arrives at your door. When the
yeah.
car's there, it already knows where you want your steering wheel, where your seat needs to be, blah, 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 blah.
Well, you
Already
don't need a steering
comes,
wheel.
okay, fine. But it'll know exactly the spec that you would have in your car.
Yes. Yes.
Get in, all right, sweet. Off you go, do what you need to do. Get home, you close the door, off goes the car. It's not your problem anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this is a very interesting number, the $10 trillion investment over 20 years, give or take. That's
I
peanuts.
believe that's right, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nothing compared to what governments are spending in any case at the moment. That's a
Exactly.
very small number.
Considering the fact we spend more than that on fossil fuel investments, we just need to stop investing money there and start putting it into renewables. Yeah.
It's going to be a while, unfortunately, before that happens because not everybody's going to jump on board. I
Yes.
mean, I'll take
Yeah.
myself an example. To be honest, a year ago, I would not have been having this conversation with you that I'm having with you now. But
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, you happy?
yeah, I'm good.
Sweet. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Stay safe. See you soon.